Does traveling help you find the right girlfriend or wife? If you're a man who happens to travel a lot for his career or for his business, this video is for you. I have a client, he was just at a UN conference and he met a lady there and he was able to go on a date with her. And there's more to that story. I might talk a little bit more about that in a different video. But that was obviously an opportunity that presented itself to him just because he travels a lot. A lot of men think that traveling makes it difficult to meet people. Oh, I travel so much, that's why I can't find the right woman. It's all nonsense. Because, one, you can meet somebody while you're traveling. Now you might say, yeah, but David, what if I meet a lady in Brussels and I live in the UK, or I'm in the US and I meet somebody in Canada? Yeah, long distance. Don't you always say that long distance is a really bad idea? Exclusive long distance is a very, very bad idea. But what's absolutely possible, for example, sometimes we do in-person events, boot camps, where we spend the entire weekend with clients. And I remember like a year and a half ago, I had a client, he met somebody in London, unbelievably attractive lady. Extractive. Unbelievably attractive lady. There's a Freudian slip right there. And he dated her long distance, non-exclusively with 2-3 other ones, and then after 6 to 12 months, made it exclusive. Long distance exclusive is a horrible idea and it's going to lead to a lot of pain, trust me. But non-exclusive long distance is a genius idea, because why not? You can see each other once every 2 weeks. You fly to her, then she flies to you. You do that for several months and then she moves to wherever you live. Or if you actually have, the only time I think as a man you should relocate to where the lady lives is because you were going to do that anyway. Don't just move to a city ever just because a woman is there. Never do that. That would be so stupid. But she can absolutely do that for you. Why? Well, first of all, if her main focus becomes the family she'll have with you and not her career, well, that's a fantastic option. If her main focus is a career because she wants to become a VP of the next tech company, that's perfectly fine, but then you're probably not that compatible. Or, yeah, in this long distance situation, it just wouldn't make sense, right? I would never want to tell a woman who really wants to pursue something massive in tech, for example, that she then has to relocate and give all of that up. No, because then she would be unhappy as well. You're not supposed to enter a foul compromise. That's what my uncle used to say. Never enter a foul compromise, which is something that wouldn't meet your needs, or it wouldn't end up meeting her needs, or it would meet some of your needs, but some other ones that are very important to you, for example, career progression, or building your own business, or being around your friends, would not be met. So never do that. But non-exclusive long distance is a very, very valid strategy. Now, there's a million things that can go wrong and that has to be monitored extremely well. How do I deal with the distance? How do I manage the phone call? What if she needs a little bit of reassurance? What if there is an argument that may arise because there's a lack of connection that's felt? How do you handle that? That needs to be handled extremely diligently. And then it can actually succeed. So that's one way in which traveling can actually help you find somebody, because you might meet somebody wherever you go. You might meet somebody from a different culture, which you might be more attracted to. That's one. The other way is it broadens your horizon, and you will get in touch with different types of women, and you'll recognize, oh, this is what I really want. You'll get more experience, because most men think they know what they want in a relationship, but they actually don't. They really don't. They think they know what they want. They have a very, very short must-have list, a couple of nice-to-haves, and a very, very short deal-breaker list. There's a lot of things that are deal-breakers for you in a relationship that you're not even aware of, just because you haven't been exposed enough. And if you want to find the right girlfriend or wife for life, for the long term, you need to be extremely careful that those qualification criteria match, that your values are the same, that your personalities are the same, and you haven't even tasted, quite literally, enough of what's out there. You don't even know what you want right now. But once you travel to in a city in Europe right now, not Dublin, undisclosed location. You travel to Italy, you travel to Canada, you travel to... Be careful, like, don't travel to places that are dangerous. Like, I've made a video about passport bros. Can make sense, but don't go to places that are dangerous in South America, okay? Don't just be safe. That's the most important thing. But to travel to places that are safe, or if you go to South America, get your own bodyguard, find a local who is there, do it in a very sensible and safe way, then it's fine. But meeting different women from different cultures, or even just within the US from different places. So you live in San Francisco and you do want to travel to the south, see what that's like. Oop, getting a call. 1 second, gonna mute that. Friend of mine. Gonna call him back in a few minutes. That guy's actually the best weight loss coach in Germany, who just called me. Gonna call him back in a couple of minutes. So for example, if you live in San Francisco, go to Alabama, see what it's like. Go to New York, go to Canada, go to Australia, go to New Zealand. See what different women are like. Because the more people, and you have to approach dating apps, Instagram, but also in person, the more you expose yourself, the more you'll start noticing certain little subtleties. Oh, this is what I really like. Because a lot of men think they really want a totally extroverted lady, and then they realize, ooh, it actually has a lot of benefits to be in a relationship with a woman who's a little bit more shy towards the world, but she lets her full self, her beautiful self come out when it's just the two of you. Now again, you might want somebody who's extroverted because you're a little bit more introverted. But be careful, right? If she's a little bit too extroverted, that energy might be directed in all kinds of funny ways, if you get what I'm saying. Not saying that all extroverted women cheat or some nonsense, but these are things you'll only figure out once you get some experience. And this is not to say that you need to go and date for the next years and years, but this might take you 1 month, this might take you 12 months once you dedicate yourself to it. So traveling within Europe, within the US, Canada, Australia, could make a lot of sense. So I would really encourage you to stop leaving your excuses behind. And most importantly, don't make the mistake that most men make, which is to not approach. Most men travel, and then they wait for something magical to happen. If you don't approach, nothing good is going to happen. If you don't approach, yeah, I got dandruff. My skin is pretty dry because I'm celiac, dairy intolerant, and can't handle orange juice very well. So that sometimes dries my skin out a little bit. Deal with it. By the way, this was an example of I could have been extremely insecure. The reason I didn't even notice it. It's just because my cameraman, he looked at me funny, and I was like, oh, did I make it snow again? If you're on a date and you have this, for example, you have a little bit of dandruff, for example, right? It doesn't say anything about your hygiene. I'm perfectly clean. It's just my skin is dry because, yeah, maybe I need to get some extra shampoo or whatever that gets rid of the dandruff. But it's mainly nutrition, okay? So I know I've had the odd dairy-containing mochaccino in the last couple of days, which may have dried my skin out a little bit. If you're on a date and you're insecure around something like that, the insecurity is what's going to turn her off, not the dandruff. Let me tell you, I've gotten a ridiculous amount of experience over the last however many years since things ended with my ex-wife, 6-7 years. Not once have my teeth, who are vampire teeth, been an issue. Not once has my dandruff been an issue. Not one time. Now, if you start becoming insecure around it, that's a problem. But if you just own it the way I just showed you, there's a lot of things you can learn from these YouTube videos at a level that may not be what's outrightly said. If you pay attention to this, then and you handle it and you just own it, it won't be an issue. You just can't allow in any insecurity around it whatsoever. Now, what the hell was I talking about beforehand? I don't know. But yeah, don't just travel and not approach, which is one of the biggest mistakes most men make. They go to an amazing city where there's amazing women, and they just don't approach. I don't care where your future girlfriend or wife is going to come from, whether she's going to come from Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, Christian Mingle, whether she's going to come from an Instagram DM or from an approach. But the probability that you're going to find a high-quality relationship without developing the skill set of being able to approach in person is rather low. Being able to understand frames, congruence tests, all these things is something that you'll learn in interactions with women. You can't just think about it. You can think about what it's like to throw a basketball, to compete in a jiu-jitsu tournament, to box, to kickbox. You can think about what it's like, but the first time you get punched in the face, it's a very different experience. The first time you get kicked in the liver, you'll feel what it's like. You need to become more careful. The first time you eat a low kick, you realize, oh, that is a different story. The first time you get choked, you realize, oh, this is what it's like. There's a little 60-kilogram girl who has a brown belt who chokes you out and then you go unconscious. And you're faced with reality. It's a different experience. Same with dating. You have to allow yourself to get the experience and take strategic action. The beautiful thing is, as I always say, it is just a skill set. You can absolutely learn it. You're already doing well in a lot of areas in your life. Allow yourself to learn that skill set. If you want me to help you personally, find the right girlfriend or wife, develop that skill set, make the process unbelievably easy, and find somebody for a truly quality relationship for the long term, something meaningful, click the link underneath this video and apply for a free initial consultation call. And a member from my team is going to get in touch. And we'll map out a plan based on your individual situation to help you find somebody who's right for you. We're going to go and enjoy this city and, yeah, fill in the application. And you'll get a call very soon. Take care.